Your might never all meet here again.
Rum tastes sweeter among friends, pirate.
Never all meet here again.
Rum tastes sweeter among friends, pirate.
واش خوتي كلش رجلو.
Can we? I thought you'd be done chasing fairy stories.
Not yet.
هاي يبداو. واش خوتي كلش رجلو.
Chasing fairy stories.
Not yet.
دون.
We fly no colors out here, but praise the lack of them. So let the black flag signal nothing but your allegiance to man's natural freedoms. If a man plays the fool, then it's only fools he'll persuade, but appear to be the devil. And all men will submit.
We're pirates, kid. We take as we please and
دون. بلاك فلاج بهذا الكاليتي بهذا.
It's not who you are.
Who am I then?
You're a wonder, Kenway. You've a knack for this kind of work.
It ain't work if you love it.
حكيم مليح.
Hey everyone.
حكيم مليح صاحبي. خوتي ما قاعد نشوف الشات استنى بدا على الغفله.
I played Edward Kenway more than a decade ago, and you know, he's one of those characters that never really leaves you. Now, over the past months, we know that you've been waiting, or we know that you've heard things. And today, it is finally time to share with you
يا
what
يما.
we've been working on. Assassin's Creed Black Flag
خوتي رانا
Resynced
لايف
is
انا
a
كيك
faithful
فلوس
remake of one of
يوتيوب
the
هكا
most
خوتي
beloved
بلاك
Assassin's
فلاج هذا
Creed
من ورا جيم
games.
بلاي خوتي
It's
قوه
totally
تاش معناتها قوه
rebuilt from the
شاط
ground
قاع
up
عجبهم
with the latest version of
والله
the
هو كمل
Anvil
يوتيوب
engine
ولا
and
كيك
enriched
خوتي
with lots of new additions, resynchronization with Edward's journey and memories. The same story, the same man, but elevated to a new level of immersion and realism to bring you one of the most thrilling, swashbuckling pirate adventures. And I'm happy to say, Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced will be released on July 9th, 2026. Today, guys, you are getting the real deal. The first ever look at gameplay. Everything that's
Gameplay,
been
gameplay,
rebuilt,
gameplay, gameplay, gameplay.
reimagined, and some behind-the-scenes stories. But enough of my talking, yeah? Let's just jump right in.
جيم بلاي خوتي جيم بلاي جيم بلاي دن 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 دن. Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced.
13 years after the original, this remake brings the classic.
اوه لا ديفيرونس خوتي واحد ما يكذبش ليك.
With the latest Anvil engine to deliver the most thrilling pirate adventure. All right, let's set sail.
Dash my buttons. Your life seems a grand.
يو هذا الاول نشفالو
So full of adventure.
الاول اللي نسلكوه. اوه
A rebellious
يا
scoundrel to make a
خوتي.
name for himself in the pursuit of glory, freedom, and a search for a better life.
Seen your face before. Yous mates with them pirates down in Nassau.
Shut your bloody gob or I'll fill it with shot, you hear me?
Edward, is it?
After crossing paths with the assassins and Templars, Edward is drawn
جارستك خوتي.
to conflict with secret locations and legendary treasures at stake. Along the way, he joins forces with infamous pirates such as Anne Bonny, Charles Vane, and Blackbeard. With them, he helps establish a short-lived, lawless republic following the pirate code and defying empire
ليك
on cruelty and
يا
greed.
راسك خوتي ايماجيني بلاك فلاج في وقتها كانت ما تسحقش ريميك ايماجيني يديروا لها ريميك
Treacherous tropical paradise, from dangerous waters,
ويا العاصفة تاع البحر
untamed lands, and bustling historical cities.
حنستمتعوا بالجو اقسم بالله غير
From the
حنستمتعوا
grandeur of Havana, the thriving and wealthy jewel of the Caribbean ruled by Templars, to Kingston's bustling trade hub, and Nassau, the beating heart of the pirate republic. Each city offers a distinct atmosphere shaped by opportunities and conflicts. The Caribbean world reaches a new level of immersion and realism, powered by high-resolution textures, enhanced lighting,
ليك ديفيرونس
strikingly detailed
يا
environments,
خو ماشي نورمال
and a new dynamic weather system. Even underwater exploration is more expansive, more beautiful, and more perilous than ever before. With seamless access to cities and locations, the world feels truly alive.
Ship stopped!
Creating the perfect backdrop for a life on the edge, where freedom is earned and danger is never far away. Time to draw swords, lads. The combat system has been entirely reworked into an action-oriented experience. While wielding dual swords, pistols, and hidden blades, every move now plays a specific role with faster, more fluid attacks and combos. Land a perfect parry to open up your target for an instant kill. Then
يا خوتي اقسم بالله غير هذا واش كنت نستنى من بلاك فلاج
use walls.
اقسم بالله غير هذا واش كنت نستنى من بلاك فلاج
Keep track of
يا رستك ايماجيني بلاك فلاج بهذا
tools to level the playing field. But fight recklessly, and you will be punished. Whether you're on the hunt,
احكي لي على واسمو
mastering your
باركور
environment is key.
باركور مازال هو صاحبي
Cities and jungles, you'll experience smooth and improved iconic parkour moves. From free jumps to back ejects and side ejects. These options offer a range of reactive movements, giving you tighter control, resulting in greater speed and deadlier assassinations. Being a pirate assassin often calls for a subtle approach. With Resynced and its enriched stealth system, you can
نظام تخفي محسن
as part of your toolkit to approach targets. Tailing and eavesdropping missions have also been revamped. In the original game, getting discovered meant instant desynchronization. Yes, this was a pretty big pain point, we remember. Now, the action continues. Your objectives remain, but your target will react, and you must adapt accordingly.
او في الشباب ماشي كيما من قبل تقتلو سي بون جيم بلاي مازال هو خوتي في الشباب جون روح لي للبابور دوك روح لي للبابور جيم بلاي تاع الفايت تاع الاخر تاع البابور خوتي عبالكم راني مخلي كلش هكاك
The jackdaw. What a beauty. Set sail and freely roam the Caribbean. Now equipped with even more firepower, the jackdaw can conquer the high seas like never before. With new alternate fire
فور صاحبي فور
you now have more power and flexibility to overcome opponents' ships in any situation.
فاير
You will engage in epic battles
روح بوشي للبابور.
and fort raids. All of these are back and as
ذيك الجيم.
dangerous and exciting as ever. To reinforce your crew, 3 brand new officers make their entrance. Lucy Baldwin, the Padre, and Deadman Smith. Each officer has a unique narrative questline that reveals their backstory. Gain their trust to recruit them to your crew and benefit from their special gameplay abilities. Deadman Smith, for example.
أوه طريق البابور تاعك.
From broadside weapons.
أوه ليك البحر ليك. قال لك جيم سينيماتيك و
Alongside your crewmates and trusty pet. That's right. You can now find a cat or monkey for the jackdaw.
تقدر دير قطة ولا الآخر
Other vessels.
ولا شادي.
Steer through violent storms, rogue waves,
الموجة هكذايا.
or just soak up the sun. Regaled by shanties new and old.
الغنى الجديد والقديم. عطونا القديم عطونا القديم.
Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced offers a deeper, more immersive adventure that remains faithful to what players love, while enriching the experience with enhanced gameplay features and fresh quests and storylines, including ones for the officers you met earlier and, just between you and me, new narrative arcs
أوه
involving Blackbeard and Steed.
قصة جديدة أخوتي. ديروا لنا قصة شغل طوروا لنا في القصة زادوا لنا بزاف صوالح في القصة.
Amidst the ancient war between assassins and Templars in the ultimate pirate fantasy. Gold, infamy and adventure await. It's time to raise the black flag
again. يا أخو سي بون هذا واش كنت نحوس من بلاك فلاج. بزاف عليا.
From the start, the intention was clear. Deliver a
هذا
faithful
واش
and
كنت
enriched
ندوموندي من بلاك
experience
فلاج. ما
grounded
ندوموندي
in what
والو
players
خلاص
love.
بزاف عليا.
We've rebuilt the entire adventure
بناء
using our
مغامرة.
latest Inbuilt engine. Expect fully overhauled visuals, new additions that deepen its world, and enhanced gameplay both on land and at sea.
أسلوب اللعب.
Movement now flows more naturally from one action to the next, whether you're doing parkour across rooftops.
يا أخو ليك الكواليتي هذه راهي ب 1080. إيماجيني تلعبها في تلفزيون
Parkour builds
4K.
on the latest design improvements from recent Assassin's Creed games, while still keeping Edward's classic.
لا راهو هكا يرحم بابا.
Combat now offers a more dynamic, swashbuckling experience, driven by precise
بروبلم في اليوتيوب
parries
خوتي
and
استنى.
takedowns.
صح.
Stealth gets its share of improvements too, and the ability to crouch anywhere. They open up more tactical routes and subtle approaches,
الكراوتش.
letting you shape the adventure
إيه كان
the way you
كاين.
want. Naval gameplay also follows the same philosophy and offers more tactical options. New officers will join your crew with powerful abilities, while the Jackdaw's weapons can be upgraded with new modes to change up the fight. The sea now plays an active role in how you'll be challenged by the elements. Weather and waves will influence how your ship will handle, while preserving the pace and freedom players remember. Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced matters deeply to us and to you. That's why we took the time to rebuild it with the care it deserves.
ما تخافش.
Solo, adventure, and character
ما تخافش أو خايف تا يوبي سوفت ما تخافش.
The focus stays on how you play and how you explore the world.
ماش ار بي جي خوتي ماشي ار بي جي ماشي كما الفالهالا والشادو. خلوها كيما كانت. خلوها كيما كانت. ماشي ار بي جي.
Hello everyone.
بزاف علينا بزاف علينا. اقسم بالله غير بزاف علينا. عدلان واش خوتي تاع الكيك خلينا نتفرج جاني مستمتع خلينا نستمتعوا. خلينا نستمتعوا ماشي ار بي جي خوتي هذا واش كنا نحوسوا. جامي قلت بلا عندي يوتيوب يا ودي عندي خو. تن 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 يور شحال اللايف تاعهم قريب 100,000 فيو. الناس كاع متحمسه لبلاك فلاج يا اخو تمسخر.
It felt nice to be appreciated in that way, to give direct input about the game.
The feedback with the dev team, they were very open as a dev team to take the criticism, what needs to be fixed, what's great. They even asked us more questions about it. So I love the curiosity that they show us, and it shows that they truly care about what they do.
I'm just really excited to be back, like with the addition of
خوتي
new
ما داروش
audio
الار بي جي
and
في الشباب على
dialogue
بالكم.
and the new music.
I'm super excited to actually help improve the staff experience for the game.
شو وش كاين عبدو الدنيا راهي مدنية بلاك فلاج يا اخو.
When I heard rumors about this game, I just wanted to be involved in giving as much effective feedback as possible.
Some of this work came directly from spending time with some of our core players early on. We had them play early builds and sat down with them to gather their honest feedback on the game, tapping into the many things players expect of a Black Flag remake, from gameplay features to visual fidelity. This helped us refine some of our choices along the way. What was interesting was not only to gather that feedback, but to understand why players reacted this way. They were incredibly passionate about Edward, how he moves, how he reads on screen, even the details on his face. That led to deeper conversations. Together, we explored different approaches, tested ideas, challenged assumptions, and refined choices until the intent felt right again. The team's passion and commitment have driven every step of this journey, and we can't wait for you to see
صاحبي
more
مير
of what
جتا
we've been
اساسا
crafting.
من الاخر. هنا تعرف علاش داروا لها ريميك غير هي صاحبي بداو بيها.
Is one of those pirate adventures that never really left the players' minds. And it's also really special to be here today with some of the people who helped shape the game back then and who are bringing it back now. Jean, you were creative director on the original Black Flag.
هذا اللي خدم الاوريجينال.
You're the creative director on Resynced, who's leading the vision of this remake today. Now, before we dive into what the game is now, I'd love to go back for a moment. So when you started building Black Flag back in early 2012? 2012. How was the world imagined in the first place? I mean, what were the pillars that were there from day one?
Well, from the very beginning, one of the key central core pillar was fluidity, right? We really wanted a seamless experience.
Ubisoft
combat and navigation, all very natural.
Ubisoft هي اللي خدمتها.
It was the same seamlessness that we were looking for between naval experience and the ground experience, because the other challenges we were facing was to merge actually two fantasies, being a pirate on one side and being an assassin.
وتخرج في شويه خوتي
without any friction.
ساعة شويه ما على بالكم بها.
The sea wasn't just an add-on, to the ground experience. Naval gameplay was really a core pillar from day one.
هذه الاوريجينال.
We wanted a world that feels alive. Right? Something that would react
أخو الأوريجينال شوف كانت.
always in motion, and it was very compelling to me to see other people like Paul and his team actually to face the same challenges that we did face back in the days. And I think what helped them craft the game was that a lot of people involved in Resynced today were already part of the game, the original back then.
Paul, so you were already a part of the team back then, right? So when you come back to a project all these years later, what stayed from the original vision, apart from the fact that, I'm Kenway?
So, man, the one thing that was non-negotiable is the original story of Edward Kenway. We have never approached Resynced as a reinvention. Our goal is to carry John's vision forward. And today, we have much more room to do so since the game and rebuilt on Ubisoft's latest anvil. It allows us to push dynamism, gameplay, immersion further, while keeping the original vision.
Yeah, Jean, and you mentioned before how collaborative the original game was, and can you talk about that, especially with Singapore?
Yeah, absolutely. It was a absolutely team effort back in the time, and I remember actually in 2012 when we first came here in Singapore, meeting Paul and the team to do what we call the blueprint. This week of hard work where the game really emerged from the preparatory work. And Montreal worked very closely with Singapore. Singapore built key parts of Black Flag. The naval gameplay was built on top of the Assassin's Creed 3 naval tech that was developed, in some specific missions. But you were also behind a lot of places, locations, and gameplays, like caves, underwater gameplay, forts, ships, and some major missions like the E3 demo that you worked on.
That's right. Right. So there seems to be a real sense of continuity here, not just in the game, but in the people making it. One thing that really shaped Black Flag for me was how dynamic the scenes felt coming back to it for Resynced and shooting the mocap scenes in Toronto. The scenes just felt so dynamic, like the original game. And Jean, what was the intention back then, when it came to all the cinematics?
So from the start, and it was a lot of discussion with Kama, the animation director back then, we really wanted the scenes to feel alive. We wanted characters moving, interrupting each other, exchanging objects, and reacting physically. And that sense of movement was really part of the game's identity, I feel.
Right. And when you rebuild a game like this, I guess that becomes a huge challenge, right, Paul? And how did you keep the spirit whilst trying to push it further with all of today's amazing technology?
Well, there are many ways, but to carry on the spirit of Black Flag, we always remembered one thing: to rebuild the game with the original pillars in mind, John's pillars and the original core team's pillars. But the most important thing was the story. Every single small moment in the game had to be rebuilt and crafted. And it took a lot of handcrafting, especially the facial animations. But that's important because that's the soul of the game.
You men are the pariahs of Charlestown, and I would profit better by using your organs for chum and your
ولحية الكحلة كنت نخاف منه كنت صغير هذا في 2013 2014.
And when you add new things to a game that people really know off by heart and they know it so well, the fear is always that the people might notice the seams, right? Jean, when you played it, what did you feel?
Well, actually, I felt like playing Black Flag, and not even noticing where the original end was ending and when the new content that Paul and the team wrote was starting. And this is something really important. That continuity is very much essential.
Click.
Whenever we wanted to change or add something, we would always question ourselves: does this belong here? Would Edward do this? Would John get upset?
بقيت صحابي ما يعرفوكش شوكيت نورمال خو ولو يعرفوني.
Simply wouldn't do it. However, as we all know,
أنا حاب نشوف واش حيديروا مع التالي باش نصور فيديو. شحال عندهم مديرين؟ عندهم نص ساعة مازال.
A brand new scene with Edward's wife Caroline that's written by Darby himself.
Yeah, I remember playing it. Jean, so like there's something, I don't know, there's something deeper in Black Flag than just like pirate freedom, and it's closely tied to the character of Edward.
Yes, absolutely. We really wanted to send a message also saying that freedom without structure doesn't lead you anywhere, right? And Edward's arc reflects that. He thinks everything will be granted, that's the good life.
المهم شفنا الريميك خوتي خلاص انا ما عندي من دوموندي بزاف عليا واش داروا هذاك هو الصح زقموا شويه جيم بلاي شويه جرافيك ماشي ار بي جي تخرج في جويه في الصيف ايماجيني اساسن كريد بلاك فلاك في الصيف.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I really leaned into coming back to the character after, more.
مسخره باش ما تعاودوا الجو كاع من الاول.
But there seemed to be like, for me personally, from the scenes that were written, kind of, as I said, more dynamism, but also there's a certain kind of weight to Edward's journey, I guess that with Black Flag Resynced, there are some really kind of important decisions to make, right, Paul? And how did you approach those?
So, Matt, with Resynced, we made a clear choice. It is a pure story-driven adventure, and we are fully focused on
مغامرات إدوارد في الكاريبي.
As a result of this focus, we have elected to not have the multiplayer and not have DLC. However, Resynced is built from the ground up with new story, new content, and new systems.
Wait!
But we're staying true to its action-adventure roots. Resynced is a 2026 take on the original legend. And for those of us who are curious, the original will still be available.
And Jean, so the modern day, right, that played a specific role in Black Flag when it was released. And so can you explain
ما كاش DLC what the fuck
back then?
So back then
the
present day reflected where the franchise was at. It was a transition moment, especially with Desmond's story and what it meant at the time.
كاش DLC.
Now with Resynced, I think there were some changes were needed.
That's right. Today, modern day has evolved.
ما كاش ملتي بلاير ما كاش DLC هي باينه شغل نورمال بصح.
While still connecting his memories to the animation.
كاش ملتي بلاير.
The modern day rifts in Black Flag Resynced will feature new moments that focus on Edward's internal struggles.
There's also something about Black Flag that I feel that, I don't know, people still crave what the game brought, you know?
You know what? I think it's because
في الجيم باس لا مستحيل. ايه في النفس شويه يوسف.
yes, there is danger.
يو ليك مع
But everything takes place under the bright Caribbean sky, you know.
ما كاش في الملتي بلاير وما كاش دي ال سي بصح معليش نورمال ما تفهمش. اوه البحر احكي لي على البحر. بريزيدنت في بلاك فلاج.
It's very relevant in 2026.
Yeah, totally. And the other thing that the people I feel never forget and
واش سلطان صافا صاحبي.
Absolutely, Matt. It's the music, especially the sea shanties. The sea shanties, in particular, have always been part of Black Flag's identity. For Resynced, we have kept the shanties that everybody loves, but we have also added new shanties that are connected to the story. So today, we'd like to reveal a collaboration with an artist that's deeply connected to the Assassin's Creed franchise. And this artist has a special place in my heart because of his work on Assassin's Creed
Revolution. Woodkid.
Yeah.
That's cool. It's a revolution.
Hey everyone, Woodkid here. I'm in my studio in
It's a
Paris
revolution.
now and I have great news for you. I'm back in the
تخرج في الناف جوي وي.
This time for Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. You know, the world of Assassin's Creed has been very important for me and very linked to my career. It started like 15 years ago or something. And this time, I'm very.
لا الحمد لله سلطان الله يحفظك سهل.
I know that Assassin's Creed Black Flag is a game that's very important to all of you. It's a game about
المهم لكي
about rebellion,
أنا شفنا وش كاين.
about exploration, and these are themes that are very.
أنا شفنا وش كاين دوك كوبير لايف تبين لنا كوبير لايف نروح نصوروا فيديو واش رايكم؟ شويه لقطات شويه كذا. اوكي شبيبه تهلاونا في انفسكم واعفسه جديده نحطها لكم. هكا خوتي خلاص انا ما نزيد والو ما نزيد ندوموندي والو سيبو. بلاك فلاج ريميك داروا لنا كلش من الاخر. هكا شبيبه تهلاونا في انفسكم. الى لايف اخر باذن الله. وجدوا لي روحكم الصيف راح يكون عالمي مع